I thought I would record this for posterity so future generations of humans can see how smart we were in our generation. Just breathe. It's all you got to do. Just be alive for a few moments. Good. I bet we can be breathing from our bellies now and start feeling our feels. We are feeling creatures, yes? So, what does it feel like to be your unique self right now? As much as we have in common, which is a great deal, we all feel the world differently. We're God's nerve endings, so to speak. Some people feel heavenly bliss, and some people feel torturous hell, and most of us feel a combination. There's no rush. I might go smoke some cigarettes out in the parking lot while you guys just fall asleep for 20 more minutes. Just kidding. Breathe what you feel what you breathe, catch up with yourself like you would a young child on the inside. Okay, so it's that very propitious time, 11:11. I'm sure you noticed that on the clocks. When it shows up, it means we're all one. So take the biggest inhale that you can. Big inhale, all together, all ones. Exhale, let it go and release who you think you are, your narrative, that fantastically compelling story we tell ourselves. Let it go. Who are we underneath all those narratives? It's good to empty out. Now, wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate feel good around your body. Love, bliss, joy, ecstasy, harmony, compassion, abundance, health, fun, lots of fun. Good. Arms up to the ceiling. Stretch your arms up over your head. And just stretch out a little bit in a mild kind of writhy way, Greg writhy way. Good. Draw your knees in and just roll around on your back a little bit with your knees in. These are ritual movements. They're prayers. Most people don't think of rolling on their back, holding their knees as a prayer, but it doesn't mean that they're not wrong. Good. Then all the kids sat up together. Yes, they did. And we're sitting up. And I presume that as I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. It's very nice to see you through the lens of my camera. Now, even though we're in different physical proximity, there's a place inside of us that is entirely connected and one. It's hard to understand. In physics, modern physicists speak of something called non-locality, and it's the breakdown of proximity or place. That's becoming a physical reality. So it means there's no such thing as here or there. There's only right here. Interesting thought, isn't it? We're so addicted to here and there. Let's chant Om together. Big inhale. Feel that. There's a place where our sound all blends together. Om is the primordial sound of the universe. It's very healing simply to make that vibration. In a moment, we'll start a ritual sequence of joint juice movements, and then we'll do some yin restorative poses. But all the while, my intention is to cultivate a mood of peace and presence that transcends all worldly affairs. When we can find that place, then you have the eye of the hurricane. Okay, we'll bring the hands into the heart. Yogis call it Anjali Mudra. And I invite you cordially to pray for the thing most wanted or needed in your life right now, whatever that is, whether it's understanding or wisdom or serenity or solution to an incredibly pressing problem or meaning or purpose or tons of cash, whatever it is that you need, ask. Remember, when you ask, you receive, and you receive it immediately, although it doesn't seem that way. Good. Group prayer is very powerful. Hands on your knees, and we will roly-poly our shoulders. My cat is absolutely losing his mind right now. So I live in the hurricane of a kitten, always raging around me. Not always, but reminds me to find sanity. Up, there he goes. Other way with your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start to stop thinking. Begin not thinking. 8. Okay, get your angel wings out. It's no particular movement that we do. It's the combination, the synthesis, the synergy, the synchronicity, and all the other S words. Poof. Up your back, stimulating your chakras. The great yogis of antiquity spoke of this serpent that moved up our spine called the Kundalini. What the hell does that mean? We're not here to figure it out. We're here for an experience. Say poof together, poof. One more. Poof. All right. And then just a halfway forward fold. I know you guys are all wildly flexible, but I'm not interested in the volume of your movement. I'm interested in the quality of it. So just halfway forward. I'm learning all these musical instruments right now, and to a person, all my teachers say, Greg, slow down, get the quality of movement, get the quality of timing and tempo. Let speed and intricacy come later. Establish the fundamentals, tempo, timing, balance, rhythm, quality. But of course, I'm impatient. Just breathe. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Look out for mountain lions walking by. I'm going to move my head around a little bit because my neck's kind of sore from playing the drums for an hour and a half yesterday, the piano for 2 hours, and the guitar for an hour. I'm sore, man. I need relief. Good. Now from fingertips, inhale, look forward at your exceedingly spectacularly bright future. Exhale, deepen. That feels right. Come on up, kids. Yoga inhale with your friends. Symbiotic movement with your fellow organisms, incredibly healing. Arms forward, palms up, pull in and brush. Around the front, pull in. I like what Sting said in one of his songs, probably 40 years ago now. He said, we share the same biology, regardless of ideology. It's one of the most brilliant lines by somebody who wrote a lot of them. So as we get to the commonality of our biology, a lot of times it helps to resolve the difference of our ideology. Wrap your thumbs in your fists, drop your chin, close your eyes. Make ujjayi breathing, that soft, whispery, throaty seashell sound at the back of your throat. Be unusually happy for no reason. You might think to yourself, I have enough. Right now, I have all I need. If I had more, where would I put it? Good. Now open your eyes, push out through your wrists, go wide. Internal rotation to go back here. Brush your kidneys going forward. Push out. Wide, circle back, way back here. Brush your kidneys. I like to brush my kidneys. It soothes my adrenaline and cortisol production. Back here. The way that I'm built with the speed of my nervous system and its level of RPMs, I have to practice peace. Otherwise, I will go mad. So peace is a practice. Go back, push forward, having gone mad many times, partial madness, temporary insanity. Good. Now we're going to take these self-same hands and put them back here. And all we're going to do is just lift our rump. We all know how to lift our rump. Head back. Squeeze your groins up and forward. And to sink down with friends. Switch cross of legs, the weird feeling way. Oh, I love yoga. Thank you, God, for yoga. Now, just halfway forward fold, just halfway. I know you guys are wildly flexible. A few of you have been featured on the cover of Yoga Magazine. So it's hard not to go all the way, isn't it? Just to go halfway, middle ground. Shoulders relaxed, elbow creases kind of turn up, hands soft, hair shiny, face radiant, mind buoyant, heart open, flesh willing, breath breathing. I could easily come all the way down, but it's just not about size sometimes. SIGHS, not SIZE. It's the size that matter. Good. Now from fingertips, long spine, inhale. I'm just wiggling my spine a little longer, getting Kundalini to jiggle up my spine a little bit. Exhale, slight deepening. No thinking. I'm here to pull the rug out from underneath your brain. It really blows the lid off conventional living when you learn how to be happy for no reason without contingencies. Good. Next inhale, come on up. And then the palms up are placed back here. And then there's some butt lifting, lift up. Just mild, medium sensation. This pose is sensational. Good. And come on down, kids. Now I'm going to go back to the regular cross of my legs because stuff fits better. Now this neck thing of mine, I'm going to lace my hands and smooth out my sternocleidomastoids. This is a calming and soothing thing for Greg. When I was a little kid, there wasn't a lot of education on being calmed and soothed. So I just had to learn it a little later. It's okay. I'm a late bloomer. I learn everything late in life, but that's okay. There's no rush. I'm going to be alive forever. 6, 7. That's a bold claim, isn't it? 8. Good. Now take your opposable thumbs that dolphins are so jealous of and put them underneath your corner of your jaw. Then totally lax your face into your hands and massage your thumbs pleasurably underneath your jawbone. Just grooving around. This pose is groovy. Good. Now, can you hold steady pressure in there? This associates with your Vishuddha chakra, the chakra in the throat that associates with being able to find your voice, speak your truth, say yes when you mean yes, say no when you mean no. Good. Okay, now this is the head thing we only do in this class because it takes time. Right fingers back right corner, and just gently tilt your head to the right for probably about 40 seconds, I would guess. Drop your chin, close your eyes, soften your mouth. If you drool, I like it. Sandbag on your left shoulder. Just applying steady, prudent pressure. And if we do that, we'll feel the whole stretch radiate from the base of our neck all the way down the left side of our back, all the way to our tush. Have you ever noticed how when you take your time, time actually disappears? It's so nice to be timeless rather than time bound. We don't age so much when we practice timelessness. The effects of chronology are diminished upon us. I look pretty good for 113 years old. Good, now click your head back up. Click, click, click. Left finger's back right corner. And coconuts tilt left. Chin drops. Shoulders relax. Eyes closed. Mouth soft. No thinking. No thinking. Isn't it nice to just to take some time, a slow hand? Eat life like a really, really multi-course meal. Enjoy each serving. Some people just charging to the next course. Good, friendly friends, and then we'll click pumpkins back up. Oh, thank God I do that once a week. Oh. All right, then roll your neck around 4 times. Count in your native language. Dos, tres, catorce. Other way. 1, 2, 3. We're not here to impress anybody, to make a statement. 4. Good, now relax your head down for 28 seconds, eyes closed, and look up into your third eye. Look upward and inward into your third eye. Without pressure or without strain, but look up into your third eye the way a cat watches a mouse hole with calm anticipation. Pretty soon, a mouse is coming out. Okay, time to chant another one of those primordial sounds of Om together. Extend it out as long as you can, reasonably, without strain, for all the physiological benefits. Big inhale. Feel that. Feel your mortal body being released from the constricture of time. Time is an artificial human construct. Animals don't experience time unless they're waiting for dinner. Good. Now, plant your hands, plant your feet, and champagne bottoms and caviar rears. Lift up. Not much, just enough to stretch the front part of us, which rarely gets stretched unless you're a gymnast or ballerina or circus performer. I love circus performers. I have a special place in my heart for them. Good kitty cats. Now, did you feel what that did to your hands? It stretched your wrists, didn't it? So palms front, elbows together, bend wrists, lean into your hands. And I want you to oscillate a little bit. Just want you to side, that soothing rocking motion that makes us, we all like to be rocked when we were kids, as long as it was done. In my family, it wasn't done in safety. We were, I'm just kidding, just side to side. Stretching them forepaws. Good, now lean into both equally, drop your chin, make that beautiful ujjayi, whispery, seashell, throaty, aspirant sound at the back of your throat. Let the back of your neck stretch. If you start thinking, stop. Just be unusually happy for no reason. Then you can teach your friends to do it, and they'll be clamoring for your advice and insight. You won't have to convince them of anything. The light shining brightly through your face will compel them to seek you out. Cast not thy pearls before swine. Kind of a harsh way of saying it, but you get the idea. Ooh, I feel this. I'm in pretty good shape. For a 50-year-old guy, I'm in pretty good shape, and I feel the tension in my hands and wrists, and I'm glad I do something about it. I've been 50 for a while now. Okay, come up and out. Ah, oh, now, right arm out, in turtles, out turtles, in go the turtles, out go the turtles. I should teach yoga for kids. No, wait, I do. In turtles, out turtles. One more. Hella in turtle. Good, then arm behind your back and bring it up and pack the back of your wrist in your armpit. It's a nice look, isn't it? Left hand grabs right elbow and gently draw the elbow in. Drop your chin, close your eyes. Hurt not thyself. Practice ahimsa, the yoga principle. It means much more than non-harming. It means much more than a negation of something. It means the cultivation of compassion, respect, well-being. Ahimsa is not simply a negation. That's a common misinterpretation. It's unfortunate too. Good, then we'll pluck this out of our thing. Right hand goes here, left arm goes in turtle, out turtle, in turtles, out turtles. Just moving gracefully, flowingly with your friends, not trying to impress everybody with all the certificates I have on the wall. Not none, but I could print them off the internet now. Good, all the internal you got. Take your arm behind your back, brings it up here, cram it in there. Right hand grabs left elbow. Careful on this one. Drop your chin. Feel small gradations of movement. It's one of the problems of our go, go, go society. Everybody needs a sledgehammer of sensation to get their attention. We've lost the art of subtlety in relationship, in conversation, in movement, in diet, in exercise, in yoga. Just small movements. The ecstasy of small increments. Okay, friendly friends, and then hand is extracted, and then we get to eat some roly-poly guacamole together. We should all get together and have guacamole and chips. I'm going out for Mexican food with a friend today after class, so fasting so far, other way. Take your paws around. Oh, I love me some Mexican food. Shake out cares and worries, stinking thinking, painful patterns of perception. Then hi, how you doing? I'm just going medium speed. I can go crazy fast on this one, but slow down, Greg. Smell the roses, bro. My life is an embarrassment of riches when I really stop to think about it, but do I ever do that? No. Good. Cup your hands at your beautiful heart. Let's practice gratitude for all the prayers that have been answered. Of course, we want more. Of course, there's our dreams and desires. We're designed to evolve, but we should be designed to enjoy what we already have. Enjoy. Gratitude is an ever widening radial circle that spreads from us, and the world needs that. Okay, that sort of concludes the seated part. So, what I'd like to do now is change it around a little bit. So, in a moment, we're going to be on our back. And anytime I do that, especially for yin or restorative yoga, I always roll up a blanket for underneath my neck because it just, in technical terms, it makes it feel gooder. So I'm going to lie on my back. I love wearing shorts now. It's short season finally. My neck is supported. My knees are in, grabbing my big toes. And this is one I do once a week where I just do happy baby. And it's a deep, deep yin. I go through layers. I start superficial and I go through my flesh and then my fascia and then my small muscles and then my big muscles and then my tendons and then my ligaments and then my bones and then my brains. Now, if this is uncomfortable, it's too big a reach. Well, heck, you just kind of grab your knees like this. That's fine. There's no judgment in this class unless you're judging yourself. And if you are, this is a wonderful time to put the hammer down and let go of judging ourselves. Pick up an olive branch and give it to yourself. Maybe we've judged ourselves enough in this lifetime. I like this one because it goes, well, pretty obviously to the very core of my body, way down in the subterranean caverns of my undercarriage. And it also builds patience because I just want to flop all over the place, but we're not. 15 more seconds. Let it sink in. Shoulders relax, booty settle, chin drops. Good. Now we'll add some ocean motion. We'll just go side to side, knee to knee. Roll it out. Roll in, roll in, roll in. Get those booties rolling. Good, now I'm gonna come down to my right knee and I'm just gonna stay on my right knee. I'm very gently gonna straighten my left leg, not to strain or pain, but just to get a little yin stretch. Am I wildly flexible? Am I some sort of freak of nature? Nope, I'm just some guy that does what he can. Good. Now bend both knees, roll over to your left knee, bonk, and softly, gently straighten your right leg. If it doesn't straighten out all the way, welcome to the club. Welcome to the 98% of humans that aren't gymnasts, ballerinas, circus performers, fitness instructors, Cirque du Soleil trainers. Just run your own race. Or as Oscar Wilde famously said, be yourself, everyone else is taken. Good, now bring your knees back and simply take your leggings up to the ceiling with no hands. Legs up for 1 minute, letting your tail feathers drop, keeping the nice curve of your lumbar, neck supported. If you have issues with just holding your legs up for a minute, that's okay. Maybe do a half a minute and then come up with a life-saving variation.
I couldn't say.
Siri, we're going to have to fire you. Siri's going to be on the street looking for work as far as I'm concerned. Good, now widen your legs out. Just, I can go about twice this wide. Ankles, 1, 2. I'm not here to impress you. Yes, I am. Other way, 1, 2. All I want is people's approval. You know, that's that part of our wounded ego, right? Good. And I'm going to widen out a little wider just to stretch my downstairs parts. Good, now lift up your head high, grab your right knee, extend your left leg out, hold the right knee in for a moment. I know it seems too easy, right? Sorry. Good, left knee in, right leg out. Simple human ranges of motion. My yoga teacher, my primary one that I studied with for 10 years, was the hardest teacher I've ever worked with. But every now and then, once every couple of months, we would just do this incredibly gentle practice of just grabbing our knee and pulling it in and not doing the splits and balancing on our elbows. Just easy does it. We students could not believe those days. It was as if God himself had entered in. Okay, kids, both knees in. Let's sit up together. We'll back up together. Now my computer is saying it's going to turn off if I don't plug in this cable. So let me put the red one in. There we go. Sure is good to see all you guys. Now, I prearranged our restorative yin relaxing pose in advance because it takes me a really long time to build this next pose. You'll see it over here on my left. It's kind of hard to see. It'll make sense in a moment because here's what we're going to do. Listen carefully. My students are way smarter than the average yoga student. So I know you're going to get this because you're smart and sharp. So we're going to kneel and lean back. Now, some people can kneel and lean all the way back and it causes them no problem. For example, we have a 4-year-old girl in class. Her name is Iris. She can kneel and lean all the way on her back and giggle. Now, me, kneeling and leaning back really is a problem for a bunch of reasons you don't want to hear about. So when I kneel and lean back, I build this big thing. I'm kneeling, so far so good. I'm sitting, and my butt is really lifted. I've had a butt lift, okay? Now, back in the day, 10 years ago, I could kneel and lean all the way back and blah, blah, blah. Who cares about me? Who cares? But I built this thing so I can just kneel and lean back with a huge amount of support. Okay. Now, in terms of difficulty, I would give this like a 2. And that's okay because that's Sunday yoga. So, what I want you to do is I want you to build, if you have to lean back up against the couch or the ottoman or a wall or your lover or your pet, just kneel and build up enough behind you, a lot, more than you think. This is a lot for me. I'm doing something I rarely do for myself, which is supporting myself. Okay. Today, Greg's practicing self love by making it easy. I want to stretch the front of my body. If I kneel and lean back, I stretch these quadriceps, I stretch these hip flexors, I stretch my abdominal wall, I stretch my chest. And if I get it just right, if I Goldilocks it, I can lean back. Now, your job is to build something you can be in for 5 minutes without screaming. So, time for Greg to shut up. He talks way too much. I know. If you can lean back pretty far, you can take your arms up over your head like my cat when he's sleeping on his back. I wouldn't recommend that if you're uncomfortable. Now, your breath is going to start by being in your chest. You're going to be in fight or flight mode. And as you breathe and relax, you're going to go into parasympathetic mode, rest and relaxation, or what the physiologists call feed and breed mode. Sometimes you got to feed and breed rather than run and hide. I'm desperately going to try to not say anything for 3 or 4 minutes. Starts to feel good, doesn't it, when you give yourself some time and some space and some appropriate bolstering? Feels so good for you. Relax more. If you need to come out, that's okay. The key is the ability to build to build the support for these poses that matches your body. Some people ask me, Greg, do you teach private yoga? I don't know how to build these positions. Yes, I do teach private one-on-one yoga. I teach this kind of restorative yin yoga, and I build all these positions and I let you relax in them. I charge $150 an hour, and it's worth $1 million to let your nervous system heal like this. So look me up if you want. I'm worth it. One more minute. An hour with me might remove hundreds of hours of stress and strain from your body and accelerate you hundreds of hours forward toward destiny and accomplishment and purpose. Good. Now wiggle your fingers and toes after being in this position for this long. You guys did great. I'm super proud of you. Good. Now Greg's going to slowly help himself out. I love speaking of myself in the third person. Good. So now I very rarely kneel anymore because of a meniscus issue, but because my buns are lifted, I can actually kneel for a moment. Kneeling is a profound way to sit. If you can't kneel, just get out. Now I'm going to find a drishti gaze point on the floor in front of me. It simply means my eyes are going to focus on one little point with half closed eyes or half open if you're an optimist, and softly gaze at one little point. No eyes darting. Blinking is fine. Breathing is wonderful. And just see through the appearance of things. If you gaze at one point, you'll begin to see a kind of a shimmering, shifting, underlying, interpenetrating energy throbbing through reality. Throbbing, that's a good word. Wow, that is a powerful meditation technique called drishti. Yogis have been using it for thousands of years. Good. Now, I'm going to extract myself from predicament, which in and of itself is pretty cool. Now, because our knees were just bent for a long time, we should straighten our legs out in front of us. What do you think? Haha, I am exactly as smart as the average bear. Tests have been done. I thought I was smarter than the average bear. Turns out I'm exactly the equivalent. So we're just straightening our legs, straightening our arms. Almost done, you guys. You're doing great. We're in the Om stretch together. But what we really need now, what we really could use that would be like whipped cream and a cherry on top of our sundae, would be a twist. So to twist, we're going to do my favorite because I think it might, what's my favorite might very well be your favorite as well. Bolster in front. This is my favorite restorative twist. And trust me, I know a lot of them. Come over for some private yoga. I'll show you all of them. Good. Now, put your right hand on the bolster. Slide your knees behind you. Cross your ankles and pull them in to your butt. Put both hands on the bolster. Push into the bolster and lean back to stretch your transverse muscles here. Turn to the right a little bit. I'm going to angle my bolster over to about 12:40 p.m. I come down to my right ear and Greg gets happy. That's the final chapter of my autobiography that I'm writing. Greg gets happy, finally, and just rest with me. It's good to take a little time, isn't it? Not always be rushing, just to be a twist donut. Okay, wiggle your fingers and toes. I just heard my automatic cat feeder go off. It means it's high noon, so come out very slowly. Let's get high together. It's high noon. We can get high together as long as it's on our own supply. Good, I'm unwinding myself. We have side B to do, but first we got to get back to square one. Sometimes it's very good in life just to get back to square one, especially if you've been going in the wrong direction. Good, now here's our bolster. I've squared it up. I shift my knees to my right. My left hand goes on the bolster as my orientation. My feet go around behind me. I cross my anklets. I pull my heels into my bottom. I push my left hand in the bolster. I turn my chest. Now I'm sitting in mermail pose, turning to the left. Then I move my bolster ever so slightly to the left. I aim my chest part down. They came down to their left ear. They were unusually happy together. Okay, big deep inhale. Big deep exhale. Feels good to lay around with your friends on Sunday, doesn't it? Good. Let's come out of this one hecka slowly. Oh, ah, the ecstasy of it all. Gonna unwind myself. Now, kids, you guys are my kids. It's time to finish with a juicy shavasana, and I'm going to do my favorite. Now, of course, you could just lie on your back, but because God blessed me with a sliding recliner, I generally can't resist. I have a hard time resisting anything. Just go ahead and tempt me. So, this is the one where Greg likes to speak in the third person. Look at all the stuff I had to put together to be able to kneel and lean back. And I'm a professional yoga instructor. So this is the one. This is the one where Greg puts his calves up on his chair. I have magic sliders underneath my recliner. Then all I do is I lift my buoyant booty up. So my buns are lifted, my kidneys drop, and blah, blah, blah. 7 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Just do Shavasana with me. Lay on your back. Chillax. Lose your mind. Let's lose our minds together. Out beyond the constraints of right thinking and wrong thinking, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Thank yourself for giving yourself Sunday self-care every Sunday, telling all of your friends. All they have to do is click on a link, that's all, and they're in. Eyes roll back, brain melts, gut sink, shoulders relax, buns release, ecstasy ensues. Okay, beautiful friends, relax more. And this is something we do every Sunday. It's that invitation opportunity to invite God, love, source, being, infinite higher organizing wisdom into your life, whatever name you might want to give to a higher power. It's always from choice, never from coercion or pressure. It can't possibly work that way. But if you feel open and want to invite source in, now's a good time. And if you prayed that little prayer with me, I always do. It's the foundation of my existence. Wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate extra super feel God through yourself. We're God's nerve endings. Good. And when you're ready, you can curl onto your right side in fetal position. Take your time, especially if your legs were lifted. Curl softly and slowly into curled up little kid position. Love all over yourself. Err on the side of love for the rest of this lifetime. I don't think you could go wrong. Good. Now, with our eyes closed to keep the creamy filling on the inside, we'll sit up together. And with our eyes closed, I personally believe it's much easier to feel that conscious cosmic connection that we all share. We're all branches off the very same vine. Hands come into our heart, feeling holy, sacred, and reverent, calm and peaceful. All together we say, Namaste. I thank you, beautiful friends, for joining. By the way, in the chat, I left a link to the YouTube page, so you can always look up a class or a spiritual talk during the week. If you are watching this on YouTube, if you could hit like or maybe even subscribe, it really helps my fledgling enterprise. And I'd love to carry this peace to the world, and I'd love to have 1 million subscribers. I have a long way to go, but dreams start small. So, anyway,